Don't fuck up. Don't fuck yourself. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Rude Cooking School podcast. I'm your host, John Hauser III. And with me, laying on a pillow with the forbidden gummy is...
Sweet, Evan the Mayor.
Hey, man. What's up? How you doing?
Kicking it. Well, not really, because my ankle hurts. So I'm taped up and I'm sitting on my couch.
You're relaxing it.
I guess so.
You're elevating it.
You know, it's one of those things, you know, when you start getting old and you wake up after sleeping and you get out of bed and you're like, why can't I walk? My ankle hurts like fuck and I can't get down the stairs.
To be fair, you really jacked your ankle up last year, right?
No, it's the same thing that happened last year.
That's what I'm saying.
I got out of bed and I couldn't walk around on my ankle, and then I had to wear this like brace on my foot for 3 or 4 days, and it eventually goes away.
But I thought
you had the same thing this time.
So you never like twisted it or
not to the best of my knowledge.
90 degrees your leg and
yeah, no,
foot?
I have not been involved in intramural kickball in quite some time.
Weird. What the fuck are you dreaming about?
Kickball.
Yeah, apparently. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's always the left one too. Anytime I get the old fasciitis or whatever, it's always the left foot.
Yeah. Are you eating anything in particular the night before?
Does beer count as food?
That'd do it.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. Like, there's definitely been days where there was like a time a couple months ago where I literally just got out of bed and I was like, why is my knee not working properly? Like, it hurts. And I went to bed the night before, perfectly fine. I was like,
yeah.
And it took like a bit for it to kind of like
sort itself out.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah, being injured while you sleep is one of the cruelest things I can think of.
Yeah, dude. Like, what the fuck did I do when I was like, I know I didn't move that much. My wife takes up fucking 7/8 of the bed, which is amazing because she's like, you know,
a twig.
Yes. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm just laying there just all tensed up and muscles and who knows.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
but K-tape is my friend right now.
What's that stuff?
It's like one of those athletic tapes that just like puts your ankle back together, you know, braces it.
Yeah, I gotcha.
It's helping. I mean, it's still a pain in the ass to walk around, but whatever.
You and Lamar Jackson.
Okay. Yeah. Talk
of the town.
Is he gone?
In my opinion, I think he's gonna be gone, but I don't know. It could go either way. Welcome to Football Talk, everybody.
Yeah. It must be nice to, you know, have a $100 million contract and like you're guaranteed to get paid no matter what, like even if you lose an arm.
But he's not.
He's not? I thought he was.
It's what he wants.
Oh, that's what he wants.
The ding dong, like, weirdly enough, so NFL, I mean, MLB, NBA, and I even think NHL, that when you sign a contract, it's guaranteed. So no matter what happens to you, it's guaranteed. Famously, the Orioles are still paying Bobby Bonilla.
Oh, really?
Yeah, still paying Bobby Bonilla, but it's down
and Chris Davis.
Yeah, who both famously got hurt. I mean, Bobby Bonilla got hurt in 1996, 97, something like that. And they've been paying him since, and like they're down to now like maybe $50,000 a year, which is still insane.
That's funny.
But there was a year like there's with the Cubs, I think. So Bobby Bonilla still gets $1 million a year from the Cubs. It like whatever arrangement is insane. But with football, when you get a contract, it's not guaranteed. And last year, the Cleveland Browns signed what's his name? Fucking rapist piece of shit. Hold on. Deshaun Watson, who at the time had 26 counts of sexual assault against him, and somehow all those went away, money, and they signed him to a multi-year deal that was like, Christ, he's getting more than $40 million a year, 40 something million dollars a year, and it's all guaranteed. And it's the first contract of its kind. And everybody was like, what the fuck did you ding dongs do? And now everybody wants a guaranteed contract. At least Lamar definitely wants a guaranteed contract. What happens a lot is they sign these contracts, and let's say you sign for 100 million, 60 of it is guaranteed. And, you know, over a certain amount of time, whatever. And then they always readjust them after like 3 years, and then to spread it out over time. And it's really weird. I don't understand it. But NFL is really smart because the contracts aren't normally guaranteed, and you aren't eligible for pension until your fourth year in, and the normal lifespan of an NFL player is 3 years.
Okay.
So that's why 4 is the
shrewd move.
Yeah, it's shitty. It's real shitty. It's a meat grinder. It's terrible. And the Ravens are like, yeah, we're not paying you that. So it's a whole thing. It's a mess, and it'll be interesting. It'll within a week, it should basically be over. They only give them a couple, like there's like a window for other teams because of the way that they were like, okay, you can talk to other teams. It's a weird thing. So yeah, Lamar Jackson.
Weird.
Everybody. Yeah. Football. You know what would help Lamar Jackson's situation?
My virtual background.
Yes. Sucking on some gummy titties.
Woo!
That would help all of us, actually.
Just like John Cougar Mellencamp.
Sucking on some gummy titties.
Gummy titties.
Sucking on a gummy tit outside the Tasty Freeze. That was the original lyrics. They're like,
oh yeah, gummy tits.
Yeah. Oh my God. Eat too much. They gave me the shits.
That's what I get for sucking on a gummy tit. Gummy tit.
That is one of the greatest. Sucking on a chili dog outside it is a freeze. Oh, it's so good.
Well, you've seen the version that the lyric is just sucking on a chili dog over and over.
I haven't, but I'm not surprised.
It's very good.
It's pretty.
And then the guy does 4-part harmony. It's just singing.
What?
Chili dog.
At the do.
Yeah. Yes.
That's a great middleweight. Okay. We are going to be talking about we're going to be talking about Gummy Bears. The episode's going to be on
just Gummy Bears?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We're going to be talking about basically Gummy Bears with the caveat of adding other gummy things in and talking about, at the end, we're going to go through some of the weirder gummy candies out there.
The Venus de Milo gummy?
Yes, the Venus de Milo gummy. And what we're talking about is his background is a cartoon picture of a nice purple velvet pillow that is trimmed in gold with gold tassels, and it has the Venus de Milo gummy on it from The Simpsons. I remember what season.
I have a real life
episode.
Version of it. It's not an actual candy. It's like a little green statue.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yep. It was a Valentine's Day gift.
And I don't remember what it is, but I do remember Homer going, forbidden gummy, and then he just eats it.
Yes.
Was it actually a gummy? Because I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the guy who's standing outside of the glass box is like, this is the finest gummy carved from the artisans of gummy. And they keep saying gummy over and over. And Marge says, stop saying gummy. And then he's like, all right, Marge, I'm going to steal this gummy. I'm going to need you to distract the crowd. And then her like trench coat explodes and all the candy that they've stolen so far goes all over the floor. And then he just like punches through the glass case, steals the Venus de gummy, and then they escape. And on the way out, he's being chased by security. He takes a bag of Pop Rocks, puts a can of soda on it, shakes it up and throws it, and the whole place explodes.
Right.
And he jumps out as if it were Die Hard.
Nice.
Later on, he loses the Venus to Gummy.
Oh God!
But he's got a babysitter taking care of the kids while they're at the candy.
Did you watch
convention.
this episode this week?
No, I have it memorized,
Okay.
John.
Oh, gotcha.
The whole thing.
Okay.
He gives the babysitter a ride home. She is getting out of the car, and the Venus to Gummy is stuck to the
her
back
butt.
of her jeans.
That's right.
And he reaches out and pulls it off, and he goes, "Forbidden Venus." And then the rest of the episode is him being accused of sexual harassment. There's my Venus.
Oh shit, that looks awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's why you got all the ladies.
Yep, just the one.
That's why you just got locked down for marriage.
Yeah, because I got that.
Hannah was like, you know what? He's got that Venus to Gummy. Got to lock him
I got
down.
that whole episode of The Simpsons memorized,
I
baby.
got to put a ring on it. Yeah, so we're going to talk about basically Haribo Gummy Bears. And then we'll talk about other stuff. Like it's really interesting trying to do like research on this because even when you try to, oh, is that what you got right there?
Oh yeah, I got myself a little bowl of gummies, baby.
Are those like weed gummies or are those just regular gummies?
No, they're Haribos.
Oh, okay.
Remember last time when I got that 3-pound bag? I
Oh
divvied it
yeah,
up.
right. 3-pound bag. When you research gummy candy, all anybody wants to do is talk about Haribo.
Yeah,
It's interesting because
it's definitely like the number one.
and it's an interesting story. I mean, kinda, but like, I guess nobody else wants to take the time to learn about Trolley too much. Trolley's been around for a while. We'll find out about Trolley in a second, but let's get into it. Gummies, gummy candies, gummy candy, like Gummies, Gummi, Gummy, or jelly sweets, are a broad category of gelatin-based chewable sweets. Gummy Bears, Sour Patch Kids, Jelly Babies are a widely popular and well-known part of the sweets industry. Gummies are available in a wide variety of shapes, most commonly seen as colorful depictions of living things such as bears, babies, or worms.
Babies?
Yeah, jelly babies, man.
Oh, okay.
Have you never had jelly babies?
I don't think I have.
Okay, we'll talk about them in a bit.
Just love the idea of eating some babies.
Yeah, it's really weird. Their first name is Tragic. Various brands such as Bassett's, Haribo, Betty Crocker, Hershey's, Disney, and Kellogg's manufacture forms of gummy snacks, often targeted at young children. The name gummy, Gummi, originated in Germany, with the term jelly sweets more common in the British language. Gummy candies are made mostly of corn syrup, sucrose, gelatin, starch, and water. In addition, minor amounts of coloring and flavoring agents are used. Food acids such as citric acid and malic acid are also used in order to give a tart flavor to the gummies. It is often that other gelling agents are used in place of gelatin to make gummy candy suitable for vegans or vegetarians, such as starch and pectin. So we'll get into gummy bears right now. If you lived outside of Germany, you might not think of gummy bears as a foreign snack, but up until they were regarded such as recently as 50 years ago. So even before that, or even earlier than that. So German language teachers in the US used to bring gummy bears into their classrooms, like in the 70s, 50s, 60s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and early 80s to teach their kids about like German candies because it was a German only candy up until the 80s, basically. Outside of an educational context, most American children would never have had a chance to taste the sweets before the 1980s. So let's get into it. It's so weird.
So you're basically telling me that my parents didn't ever eat gummy bears until like I was a kid.
No, your parents probably never had gummy bears until you had gummy bears.
Right.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
Yeah. Like, okay, so what year were you born?
None of your business.
Oh, come on.
I was a child of the 80s, John.
Okay. Anyway, let's see. There's like so much weird stuff in this story. So, okay, today gummy bears are one of the most popular gelatin candies sold. Gelatin is made by drawing proteins called collagen out of animal products like bones or horses' hooves or horses. Like, let's be clear on this. Most gelatin comes from horses. Actually not. I think it mostly comes from cows.
I'm eating one right now, and I can really taste the horse.
Yeah, it's delicious. So while gummy bears don't contain actual bears, believe it or not, they're not vegetarian at all. Like, because gelatin. You can find, as we talked about earlier, like just a couple minutes ago, that they do make vegan and or vegetarian versions. And it's becoming more popular because there's so many weird gelling agents now with, you know, people really getting into modernist cuisine and all the agars of the world that's like derived from seaweed and
yeah,
that's great.
I would go to town on some seaweed gummies.
What if they tasted like seaweed?
Well, I mean, even if they had a vague seaweed flavor to them, but had a little sweetness or even a sour or, you know, a savory. I don't care.
Gotcha.
It's all about the chewiness.
Agar or, you know, any derived from seaweed thickener, there's no flavor in them. So, you know, they just are a blank canvas. But and a lot of them work better than gelatin because they're not as fussy. Like gelatin, a lot you have to bloom, which isn't hard. Like you just mix it with water before you mix it with hot water. You just can't put hot water onto gelatin. For some reason, it doesn't work that way. You gotta bloom it to make it like jellyfish like, and then put the hot water on it. It's really strange. The first jelly candies used flour or starch instead of gelatin to achieve a soft, bouncy texture. Turkish Delight, or lokum in the original Turkish, originated in the Ottoman Empire roughly 2.5 centuries ago. Have you ever had Turkish Delight, Evan?
No.
You haven't?
Nah.
Really? It is delicious. I have some at the house now that I still have from England because they are still terribly popular in England. When I was a child and reading the Narnia books, I was like, all I want in my life is to see what this tastes like. Because he doesn't actually do a great job of describing what it is, because I guess he figured all children knew what Turkish Delight was because he was British.
Right.
And just didn't think that no other children would know. And the first time I had it, I went to a store that served Turkish foods and stuff, and they had it. Like you could buy it on the way out, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And it's just jellied candy that's like covered in cornstarch. And
I've seen it. I've just never had it.
It's really good. If you like gummy stuff, it's really interesting because it's got a different texture. It's not as cleanly like Jello.
Uniform.
Yeah. So it's sometimes it's a little grainy, sometimes it's not. The flavors are much cooler, like rose water, lemon, lime, you know, like, but like you can actually taste like real flavors. But we got them when we were in England last time and brought them back, and it was really good with our jelly babies. More on that in a bit. Confectioner Hasi Bekir Effendi opened his candy shop in a modern-day Istanbul in 1777 and started selling the jiggly jellied cubes. They only come in cube form, by the way, that I've seen, in a variety of sweet flavors. The recipes had likely antecedents. There are other traditional Turkish confections made from boiled down grape juice mixed with starches. It's thought that when sugar syrup started to become more widely available, it replaced the boiled grape juice and allowed for different flavorings to shine, which is what Bekir Effendi perfected. Today, his family owned store is the oldest business in Turkey, and according to the BBC, is one of the 100 oldest still operating businesses on Earth. That's fucking cool.
That's pretty cool.
I will show you what they look like right now. And boom. So it's, you're looking at a bowl full of jellies covered in, cornstarch. So not terribly fancy, but they get the job done. They're really delicious. Turkish delights soon became popular internationally, but Europeans had a problem. Making real Turkish delights using starch is time consuming, and according to food historian Laura Mason, Europeans just couldn't get the knack of how to make it, so they cheated. That's why you see a lot of recipes from the late 19th and early 20th century that use gelatin, which creates a very differently textured treat. Jelly babies are known at least since advertisements by Rich's Confectionery Company of 22 Duke Street, London Bridge in 1885, along with a variety of other baby sweets, including Tiny Toddies,
baby sweets,
and Sloper babies.
Sloper babies.
Yep. But the pricing of these at 1 farthing each suggests that they were very much larger than the modern Jelly Baby.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Weird.
I don't know what a farthing is. I didn't look into it.
The size of your fist.
The sweets were invented in 1864 by an Austrian immigrant working at the Friars of Lancashire, and were originally marketed. Why would you name a candy this way?
Dinky Doodles.
Unclaimed babies.
I would like to resurrect the guy who invented this and be like, why are they called unclaimed babies? Like, what were you thinking?
Because it was 1864, and if you walked outside, you'd probably get smashed in the face by a baby that somebody didn't want. Because there was no abortion and no fucking condoms. And there were just babies all over the place. It's where they got Cabbage Patch
littered
Kids
all
from.
over the street.
Yeah, just babies.
Babies.
I mean, it really was a problem in Austria. I mean, in England, because they were in Lancashire. Unclaimed babies. Oof.
You know what you do with those unclaimed babies? You eat them.
Yes. Can I get oh shit. What would they don't do pounds. Can I get a kilogram of unclaimed babies?
G.
Yes. Yes, 50 grams of unclaimed babies, please. Thank you. Yeah, they don't do pounds, guys. By 1918, they were produced by Bassett's in Sheffield as Peace Babies. Like peace babies. Like, put your
Peace
fingers
babies.
up. To mark the end of World War I. Peace babies. So to mark the end of World War I, Bassett's themselves have supported the Peace Babies name. I don't know what that means.
I like this idea that if time had gone uninterrupted, like it would still be babies, and they'd be, depending on what's going on in the world, like we'd have MAGA babies, we'd have
oh Christ, don't give
like
people
Nixon babies, Reagan babies.
I'm gonna try to find you a good picture. I mean, well, I'll show you a picture of what they actually just look like, because they're not
Operation Desert Storm babies.
Okay, this is a great picture of them, and I'll show you in a second, because this is exactly what they look like, and it's the worst. Production was suspended during World War II during wartime shortages.
Gotta get that. You gotta conserve all that collagen.
That's right. Get all those horse hooves got to go to our boys at the front. The product was relaunched as Jelly Babies in 1953. This is where it gets weird.
Weird.
Yeah. In to mark their 80th birthday in March of 1999, a line of sweets called Jellyatrix.
Oh my God. Old babies.
Yes. Was launched by the Barnack Confectionery Limited to commemorate it. Yeah. Oh God, it's so terrible. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what jelly babies look like, and this is. I have a bag of jelly babies upstairs. I love them, but they're very much. Imagine, like gummy bears that are a little bit bigger, a little bit softer, but whatever they make them out of, the outside is a little crunchy.
Huh.
Yeah. So, okay, hold on. There you go. You can't tell those are anything.
Oh, and they're dusted in cornstarch.
You can't tell that they were anything. Like, and that's the thing. A lot of time, like you really got to shake the bag to kind of knock the dust off of them.
Those are like jelly baby mummies. Those are mummy babies.
But okay, so when you look at these things,
they look like jelly, like bowling pins.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on. Let me stop sharing my
mini jelly babies.
Let me go back and show you what they're actually supposed to look like.
Baby Jesus.
Yes, they look like Jesus. It's really weird. You'd never know. I gotta find a clean one here.
We could have had 9/11 babies.
Oh God, stop it!
Welcoming home our troop babies,
dude,
FDNY babies.
I guarantee you. Okay, actual jelly babies. They look like this.
Woodstock 99 babies.
Woodstock 99 babies.
Yeah, the marketing opportunities were limitless, but we just went with bears.
I can't find
bullshit.
I can't find. Well, when we get to the end of this, it's a whole different thing. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so they come in different sizes or different shapes sometimes.
Is there a mega baby, a giant baby?
So they have different. Some of them have different faces.
That doesn't look like a baby.
But those are a little different. Yeah,
that looks like a Care Bear.
Kinda. But yeah.
Why does the one have a question mark for a face? Two of them do.
What? No.
Is that a question mark face?
No, it's
no,
not.
It's like a frowny
One's
face.
crying, yeah. One's crying.
Well, you've got the iStock logo all over the screen, so I can't tell.
Well, that's like the cleanest I could find where they're not completely covered in fucking goop.
You know where I think that Gummy really jumped the shark was when it became like, fruit snacks that you got for your lunch when you were a kid.
Oh, that was the best. Because then it was
that shit ain't Gummy.
Then it was like, oh, it's healthy.
Ninja Turtle.
I was so happy
snacks.
Getting jelly vitamins when I was a kid. Gummy vitamins stuff.
The Flintstones vitamins that taste like cough medicine.
Oh, I love Flintstone vitamins.
10 million strong and growing.
Dude. I could eat a fucking whole bottle of those things. Just
I don't think you should do that.
They really missed the boat on just making just make them taste like the vitamins, but it's just candy.
It's just candy.
Or
I think that's called a sweet tart.
Or just low sugar. But no, because there's a very specific like sawdust flavor to those things.
Oh yeah, they're nasty.
That is like so weirdly comforting. But the best flavor clearly is the raspberry one.
Sure. But it's funny now that most of these like supplements for adults are just like gumdrops covered in sugar, but they're probiotics somehow.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah. Like
okay.
Yeah, probiotics, vitamins. We have gummy vitamin C here.
Sure.
Which is great. It's a good way to get your kids to take some vitamins.
Well, the thing about vitamin C is, and I do love vitamin C, is that like you piss out 90%.
Yeah,
of
of course. Yeah.
I mean, your body
doesn't need
up on vitamin C.
your body doesn't need all that shit. But it can't hurt. It's good for when you're tripping, man.
Right.
In 1909, British candy maker Charles Gordon Maynard debuted wine gums, one of the first commercial sweets made with gelatin. His candies didn't contain actual wine, something he struggled to convince his conservative teetotaler father. But can you imagine? It's like, no, Dad, seriously. There's no wine in it. It just tastes like
it's spelled WHINE. They're babies.
Yeah.
They're whining.
But Dad, I'm telling you, it doesn't taste. It's not actual wine. He's like, yeah, wine with an H. But they did combine chewy gelatin with sweet flavorings in a bite-sized package. Wine gums pioneered the gelatin gummy formula, but their presentation left something to be desired. The candies, which is still around today, traditionally come in generic shapes like a rhombus, a circle, and an oblong.
Boring.
It's hard to imagine a gummy rhombus inspiring any Saturday morning cartoons. Hint, hint.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we're going to get to it.
With Cubert? Wait, I don't know.
We'll get to
Gummy
it.
Bears?
Yeah, dude. Jesus.
The Disney Gummy Bears?
Yes.
Okay.
So there was still a hole in the market for whimsical gummy candies, and Haribo became the one to fill it. Hans Riegel founded the sweets company in 1920 after leaving his job at a candy factory. So do you know where the name Haribo comes from?
I don't.
Hans Riegel of Bonn.
Okay.
Take the first two letters.
Hans Riegel of Bonn. Okay.
Hans Riegel Bond. Haribo. So
I have to say
he's
that
from Bonn, Germany.
The bear shape is genius because it adds like a little extra texture. I mean, if I was just eating like a rectangle of gummy, it wouldn't be nearly as good.
No.
The little limbs and the head really
totally
add a certain something.
Yeah, and it's fun. Like, so the name Haribo is a portmanteau of his first and last name in his hometown of Bonn, Germany. Haribo's first products were colorless, hard candies Riegel made in a copper pot at home. He probably named it Chester. He sold. You don't get that Chester copper pot? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. He sold his confections at local street fairs and had his wife deliver them via bicycle. They sold well, but not well enough to take his operation to the next level. Then, in 1922, he had the idea to mold fruit-flavored gelatin into the shape of bears. This sweet treat catapulted Haribo to success and eventually launched a worldwide obsession with shaped gummy candies. So why did he choose to model his gummies after bears instead of lions or tigers or dicks or fucking poobs or whatever? The shape originated as an homage to a European tradition that goes back centuries. Trained dancing bears gained popularity during the Middle Ages, and they persisted into the 20th century.
This is problematic.
Yeah, well, now it is. They don't do that anymore. I used to see those when I was a kid. They don't do that anymore.
Bear baiting videos.
Dancing bears. They are still a common sight at German festivals 100 years ago. They were still a common sight 100 years ago. So Riegel knew it was an image his customers would instantly recognize. Once you know more about the practice that gave gummy bears their shape, the less cute the candies are. Captive bears were poached from the wild as cubs and trained to perform tricks.
You can really taste the torture.
Through horribly abusive torture and practices. Trainers taught their bears to dance by forcing them to stand on metal plates over fire while music played. As the plates got hotter, the bears hopped from one paw to another to relieve their discomfort. Eventually, the animals learned to associate music with pain and lifted their feet and dance-like motion every time they heard the music.
We don't deserve this earth.
No, we don't. We really don't. It's fucking horrible. Jesus in heaven that's not there, but please come down and take us from the gummy people.
Yeah.
Dancing bears are banned in Germany today. Thank God. But the legacy of the tradition lives on in every bag of gummy bears. I hope you enjoy your gummy bears right now, Evan.
I just finished my bowl.
You're like, you just spit it out. By 1960, Tanzbaren or dancing bears were a staple of German sweet shops, and Haribo was ready to expand their reach. That year, they began selling their products to a wider European market. They also changed the look of their candy from slimmer, more naturalistic bears to pudgier teddy bear-like shapes that we're all familiar with. In 1967, Haribo started manufacturing packs of multicolored gummy bears after previously only making them in gold. And in 1975, they trademarked the brand name Goldbaren or Gold Bear, which is why their packaging is normally gold. Haribo's Gold Bears come in 5 classic flavors: strawberry, lemon, orange, pineapple, and raspberry. And while it's true that different gummy bear colors have distinct flavors, what you taste doesn't always match reality. Some people report that Haribo's green bear is tasting like apple or watermelon when it's actually the strawberry flavor. And then this talks about like how people blah, blah, blah. They look at color and taste certain things and nobody gives a shit about that part. Okay, so the gummy craze didn't reach the US until the 1980s. In 1981, two companies started making gummy bears in the United States. Herman Golitz and Brock.
Yep, Brock's. I hate those.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, fun fact, that year, 1981, got the first gummy worms into America by Haribo. By Trolley. And people went apeshit for it because kids were like, I can freak out the squares, meaning my parents. And parents were like, ooh, gross. And I love gummy worms. And I remember gummy worms before gummy bears. And maybe that's why.
Does Trolley or Trolley even sell like not sour worms anymore? Or do they have?
I think they
regular
they
ones?
have regular ones too. But yeah, their whole thing is like being weird now, which
I can't believe
I'm here for.
those like started in my lifetime. That's weird.
Isn't it weird?
Yeah.
But I think Trolley also, I didn't go down the trolley. I didn't take the trolley to Trolley Town.
Down the trolley
I'm
hole.
assuming they're another company that's European that started probably earlier. But they weren't in America until 1981, which
Right.
is bananas, right? So in 1982, Haribo opened up its first sales force, its first sales building, its first sales company in America. Guess where that fucking company opened it up in?
Baltimore.
Yep. It's still
Wow.
It's still there today. It's in Security. It's up by Woodlawn.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's still there.
That's awesome.
Isn't that cool? I was reading.
John, I'm looking at the Trolley website right now. You can get Sour Bright llamas.
Nice.
You can get gummy hands.
Oh yeah, there's all kind of good. Trolley's the best. Their commercials are excellent. They're so weird.
I'm looking at the website right now, and there's not a single not sour
Oh,
version
okay,
of
really?
any of their stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Even the bears are sour.
Maybe they just said fuck it. Let's let them
But
have
their bears are a lot more. They have bigger.
They have
limbs.
dicks. They have dicks.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. We let them have the thing. Ours is sour because they got dicks. I don't know why he sounds like that, but hey, I'm Gary Trolley. I got bears with dicks on them. Come and eat my sour bears. Yeah, I was reading something, and it was like, and when Haribo opened their first American sales force in Baltimore, Maryland, I was like, what? Like literally in my head, it was like record scratch. I was like, wait, what the fuck? So then I looked it up, and they said when they opened up their first American something to the effect of like store or factory or something, and I was like, oh shit, they make them here, and they don't make them here. It's just a sales thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's right up past Security Mall.
There's a Snopes thing we need to look up, but I remember back in the heady days of Baltimore Twitter when Joe Flacco was at his peak, and he like became the spokesperson for Haribo.
Oh,
and somebody on the internet said that he got like in exchange for his, posing pictures of him with a bag of gummies in his hands, he got a lifetime supply of gummies. And I don't know if that's true or not, but I would have taken that deal.
hold on. January 29, 2013. Baltimore Ravens quarterback Joe Flacco is seen by many as an quote unquote average Joe kind of guy. So it fits that the only new endorsement deal he signed this, well, that's not nice, is for a company that makes gummy bears. Go fuck yourself. Flacco.
He got what? Pizza Hut. He got Haribo.
Yeah, but this is 2 years after he won a goddamn Super Bowl. Stop,
I know, and he's the gummy bear guy.
Don't be putting fucking talk about how the only endorsement deal he can get. You pieces of shit.
But that's
Joe
weird
Flacco's my quarterback for life.
But that's what he got. He wins the Super Bowl and he's like, yeah, I'll take some gummy bears, thanks.
Okay, Flacco agreed to take a photo on Monday holding a package of Haribo Gold Bears, a version of the original gummy bears invented by the German company in 1922. The photo will be used in various marketing materials for the brand. In exchange, the company paid him an undisclosed amount and obviously will give him gummy products on demand. Quote, he didn't do a deal with a clothing company or a law firm, said his agent, Joe Linta. He did it for a company that makes gummy bears. But that's Joe. He likes the product.
Yeah.
So why Joe Flacco? Well, the company's U.S. headquarters has been in Baltimore since 1982, and Haribo's advertising is done by a Baltimore firm called TBC. The chairman and creative director is Alan Charles, father of actor Josh Charles. Who happens to be in The Good Wife, and his uncle, who is Stan Charles, is Stan the Fan, by the way.
Oh,
just to let you know about that, who is a local.
I didn't realize this episode was going to be so hometown centric.
Who Stan the Fan is a local sports guy, radio station thing. Quote, we normally don't do sponsorships, said Christian Yegan, president of Haribo North America. We'll only do something with an athlete if we hear he really enjoys our products. The only other athlete our company's ever done a deal with was driver Rusty Wallace. Okay. I know Rusty Wallace is a fucking NASCAR guy. Haribo found out that Flacco likes to eat the company's Gold Bears product and that his favorite flavor was pineapple. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. This is so weird. Flacco also has endorsement deals with Nike and First Mariner Bank. They wanted to just be like, by the way.
Oh, yeah, because Joe Hale was the First Mariner guy. And he's like, 2 average Joes.
Right. Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ. Quote, it means more to us that Joe is not the kind of guy that lends his face to a lot of brands. You know that in order for him to associate with a product, he has to really like it. Oh, God, I could like Joe Flacco. Remember when Joe Flacco signed like a fucking $50 million deal and then immediately went to McDonald's and picked up food? And then all the people took fucking selfies with him. And he was just like, hey. I love Joe Flacco. He's a dumb potato head.
He's a potato head, but he's a very nice guy.
No,
and
yeah.
Like, I had a friend of mine who was at the Chick-fil-A in Canton, and he was just hanging out there. They were like...
Everybody I've known who's met him says he's the nicest fucking guy in the world.
Yeah.
Haribo isn't a small company. It actually is the 8th largest candy company in the world. Wow. With revenues hovering around $3 billion a year. It's the world's largest maker of gummy candies, which, according to the food market consultant firm, is a $28 billion. The business recently got a big boost from tennis star Maria Sharapova, who launched a candy company called Sugarpova. What? Oh, the gummy candy. Who gives a shit about that? But yeah, so I believe it. I believe that Joe Flacco has gummy candies for life. It's the best. I didn't even know about that.
He's out there in Denver and he's like, hey, can I get some gummies?
Yeah. Joe could never do a commercial. Poor Joe. He just never got it. It's amazing. Like even Cal Ripken by the end of his career was good. Like where Justin Tucker's actually pretty good at it, you know? Like Joe Flacco could never fucking get it. Joe Flacco, you fucking Egg McMuffin headed fuck. I love you. Mm-hmm. So it's weird because I was looking up Haribo and Baltimore and nothing about Joe Flacco ever came up. I didn't even know that was a thing. It's amazing. Yeah. Oh God, this episode keeps getting better and better. I got to write that down. Joe Flacco.
All thanks to Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I love you, Joe Flacco. Oh, Joe Flacco, come back. Lamar's leaving us. We need you for at least 1 year.
Do you remember his like impossibly bad Pizza Hut commercials?
Oh yeah, I do.
Where he's just like, "Hey, I'm Joe Flacco. My favorite pizza is a Joe Flacco
exactly.
Flacco pizza. Pizza. It's my favorite pizza. Hut.
And then there were like, weren't there commercials where it was like him and Kaepernick together because they were against each other in the Super Bowl one year? And it was like, hey, Joe, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just over here eating pizza.
Eating pizza.
It's really good. What are you doing, Colin? You know, like Colin's like.
Have you seen the even older commercials when he was just barely a freshly minted Raven?
When it looked like somebody took like a broken bottle and cut his hair.
Well, but
yeah.
He was in a bunch of commercials for mothers.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Yes.
The Federal Hill Grill.
Yes. The famous eatery by your house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you even call Mother's a eatery?
No, I would call it a tourist spot. I don't even know what I would call it at this point. It's
a
like,
meat market.
I haven't been in there in so very, very long that I don't know what I would call it. I don't even know if people hang out there at night.
I haven't been there
on weekends.
I haven't been there in so long that my Mother's Grill pint glasses barely have ink on them anymore. So kids don't hang out at the Mother's anymore? Is that the thing?
I wouldn't know. I really don't know.
I'm sure game day, it's crazy.
I don't know if you know this, John, but Federal Hill these days, it's getting a little dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
People not from here are hanging out there.
Oh, God. I mean,
anyway, I don't know what the hotspot is.
Every time I see videos of Federal Hill, it's like riots in the streets, so I don't.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I don't know why that happens, but it does.
We need to call in the National Guard, John.
Hey, all those kids from in the county with their like those alligators on their t-shirts need to be stopped.
Ugh.
And I'm actually serious about that. So, gummy shapes have stood the test of time and included sharks, peach rings, Coca-Cola bottles, or just cola bottles. Some varieties were shorter lived, like Dungeons and Dragons gummies, which I went on a fucking quest for. And they make D&D gummies again now, which are gummy 20-sided dice, which I will be buying tomorrow. And then, okay, so we'll get into this. In the 80s, Haribo made a limited edition Arschmick Ohren, which translated to a German insult meaning you're an ass with ears. And I'll show you that candy in a bit. Trolley's Roadkill gummies hadn't been on the shelves long before they were discontinued in 2005 because animal rights activists pressured the company to stop the candies shaped like squish animals with tire marks because they thought it would make children unsympathetic to animals.
Okay, I'll just go back to eating my gummy shark, my gummy worm, my gummy bear, my gummy
I'm going to eat the head off of it. Yeah, my gummy baby, right? Gummy mania even infiltrated our media. In 1985, The Adventures of the Gummi Bears premiered on NBC, and 9-year-old John Hauser III could not get enough. And let me tell you something, my friend. I watched every fucking episode of it. In 1985, I was primed for that fucking show, and I loved it so much.
I didn't ever watch it.
You've never watched it ever still?
No, I didn't.
It still holds up. We watched it with Crosby. It's on Disney Plus
because
it's fucking great.
You know, that's like the mid '80s, and there were 50,000 cartoons that were nothing but marketing vehicles for toys, and Gummi Bears was no different.
I didn't know it was. I never knew it was like I didn't put it together that it was a marketing ploy, but it kind of wasn't a marketing ploy because they didn't.
Well, it was a Disney show, so it like actually was probably a little more on the level entertainment wise than like the Glowworms, Popples, how many He-Man, even
Transformers, G.I. Joe,
sure, all of them.
Yeah. The weirdest fever dream, and for a while I always thought that it made this up, but the cartoon Turbo Teen.
Sure, yeah. The one where he turns into a car.
Yeah, he just turns into a car, and it looks like the most painful fucking thing in the world.
It's very disturbing.
Yeah, like for a while when I was a kid, I was like, was that real? Like, did I actually watch that? So
first time I ever saw that, we were in Williamsburg in a hotel room, and I'm like, what's happening?
Were you a kid?
I was like 6.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Why is that kid stretching out? He's a car.
Why is his mouth getting so wide?
Yeah.
Pretty
horrifying.
The cartoon series marked the end of Disney's long-standing policy of staying out of animated television content.
That's weird.
Its success paved the way for DuckTales, Tailspin, and Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers.
That is
because
very
it
true.
was so fucking popular.
Have you recently, or do you remember the first season or so of DuckTales, or maybe even the first? I don't know, the debut, the pilot movie, which is like a 5-part series. It was entirely a Japan animated.
Yeah, I just watched it like 2 years ago.
But if you watch it, it looks like an episode of Macross, but with like the ducks.
It's fucking awesome.
It's just Japanese animation with like Disney characters in it. It's very strange.
If you want to, like, you don't have kids, clearly.
Okay.
Because you're just sitting around drinking beer and eating gummy bears.
Yep. And pretzels.
And no, do yourself a favor. It's only 3 seasons. Do you have Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Watch the new DuckTales. It's
the one from like 4 years ago.
Yeah. You won't. It's really funny. It's really smart. The animation is amazing.
Yeah.
So, because
I know that. I just don't like Nick Kroll.
Nick Kroll's not in it.
He's not? Oh,
No.
wait. What's the other guy's name? The one, the little nephew ducks are played by like John Mulaney and God, I forget who else.
Danny Pudi. Hold on. I know Danny Pudi's one. They're great though. Like
one of the people from Bob's Burgers. Either way, I prefer the other duck voices.
No, I like it better with they all have regular. So it's Danny Pudi. David Tennant was Scrooge McDuck. Bobby Moynihan was Louie.
There you go.
Danny Pudi was Huey, and Ben Schwartz was Dewey.
Ben Schwartz. Okay, that's what I was thinking.
And Ben Schwartz is the fucking best, actually.
He's okay.
He's really good as being like the shitty duck. Like, he's great.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Lin-Manuel Miranda's fucking Fenton Crackshell. It's great. Beck Bennett, if you remember him from his stint on SNL, is actually a really, really good Launchpad McQuack. Don Cheadle shows up at one point, which is fucking amazing.
Is he War Machine?
Yes, he is actually.
I mean, it's all Disney.
No, do you want a spoiler?
Oh, is he RoboDuck?
No, he plays
Gizmo Duck.
No, he plays fucking Donald Duck.
Oh,
for a couple episodes. When Donald loses his voice, he turns into Don Cheadle, and it's funny as shit. No, you should watch it. It's actually genuinely great. Like, we were so upset as a family when they canceled it. And the great thing is, though, they let them finish it. They landed the whole thing. It was fucking great.
Well, you know what I need is Rescue Rangers 2. Gonna need that.
It's coming.
Good.
Yeah. All right. So besides the whole DuckTales Tailspin thing, the Adventures of the Gummy Bears came about because at the time, CEO of Disney, Michael Eisner's young son loved the treats, and when rich people's children want things, they get it. So the other thing is, have you ever seen Hedwig and the Angry Inch?
Mm-hmm, sure.
So that has like a big gummy bear connection. And then, of course, there's the ending part of Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yes.
Dope.
Would you like some gummy bears?
They've been in my pocket. They're pretty warm and mushy, or whatever she says, which is great. So across the pond, Jelly Babies are really popular with fans of Doctor Who because he hands them out. Certain doctors hand them out to people to fuck with them, like to confuse them and shit. And it's like a thing, Jelly Babies. So like fans of Doctor Who really love Jelly Babies. Like Alison Robicelli, friend of the show, friend of your show, really, who has a Doctor Who tattoo, really loves Jelly Babies because she was introduced to it by Doctor Who. So, yep. Okay, so now let's do some fun facts real quick. So the Hans Riegel, opened his shit up in the 20s or whatever it was, and then his son took over. That guy died at like 91 last year.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Good life. But the elder Riegel started an autumn tradition in the 1930s whereby children would come to his factory bearing acorns and chestnuts that would be exchanged for some sweets. Today, the event is held in late October, early November at Haribo Bonn headquarters. And the collected nuts go to feed animals in wildlife sanctuaries. Folks stand in line for hours with giant bags of acorns and or chestnuts and go home with boxes of free Haribo treats. 10 kilos of chestnuts or 5 kilos of acorns will land you a bag of golden baren, aka gold bears. America didn't get a taste of gummy bears until 1982 when Haribo opened up its first American factory in Baltimore. But Trolley, another German confectioner, so okay, yeah, they're German, finding huge success and found huge American success introducing gummy worms a year earlier, a candy that was designed to both intrigue kids and gross out parents. While bears are generally considered the classic, worms themselves are wildly, they're probably, I don't know. Okay. Question. What do you think is more popular in America, worms or bears?
Probably worms at this point. I mean,
I would think so too.
I don't know why I think that.
What do you like eating better?
The bears. I mean, though
you got to say that the right way. It's America.
It's America.
Duh bears.
The bears, right?
The
right.
Bears.
Well, Chicago. Either way, yeah, I think little kids like the gummy worms the most.
Yeah, I go back and forth. I if it's gummy and it tastes good, I'm like,
yeah, it's not like I'm not gonna eat a gummy worm if you put it in front of me.
I don't give a shit. Is it a big gummy dick? Fine. I don't give a shit.
Did you ever get one of those like gummy
12-inch
when you
long night gummy dick?
Whenever you
eat it.
Whenever you went to the science center when you were a kid and you were in the gift shop, do you remember the gummy rat?
Yeah, I used to get it.
A huge gummy rat for like $5.
And I'd be super excited and get like 3 bites into it and be like, I can't eat anymore.
Too much gummy.
But your hand's all sticky because it was probably like July and you're on like a camp trip.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I bought
there
was a place called the Candy Box down the street from me that growing up that had a gummy snake, but it was the size of like a juvenile, like actual snake, a real snake.
We'll get into it. Yeah.
Okay.
These shits get crazy. All right. So we talked earlier about this, about the Arschmidt Ohren, which in German translates
ass with ears.
Ass with ears. So here, I'm going to show you what this was and this was the one that didn't have like rosy cheeks. So this was actually sold by them. It's literally butt cheeks with ears on it.
That is a butt with red ears.
Yeah. So around here in some of the pictures, they have like, they would do like a little psst, psst, like of color to give like a little rosy ass part. And yeah, so pretty crazy.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, I love it. But then I guess so many people were like, it's candy. And they were like, have you seen the gummy dicks that people are selling? But okay, fine, we'll get rid of it.
Bag of dicks.
Yeah. The world's largest gummy bear is 81 pounds.
Oh.
3 ounces. I looked for this to see if there was an update on it. I couldn't find anything. It might be bigger now, but this was in 2011, San Antonio, Texas. I have a couple other things here coming up. And then, so, you know, they've tried to make gummies, healthy by, you know, doing the vitamin thing or, you know, what we were talking about, like everything is gummy now. So it's really smart because medicine tastes like shit, right? So if you just put the medicine inside the gummies, like that's fine. And then, you know, they melt quickly in your stomach and shit and whatever. But then there's drunken gummies. Have you ever infused gummies with alcohol, Evan?
Oh God, John, who do you think you're talking to?
That's why I asked. I was hoping you have.
Every time I go to my friend's holiday party down the street, he has a giant punch bowl full of drunken gummies.
And what are they soaked in? Vodka?
Vodka.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how does one do that? You just put it in vodka and then they swell?
As far as I know, yeah, you just put a bowl of gummies and dump vodka on it.
My wife and I were doing a thing for a while where we would put a couple in the bottom of our glasses of wine and throughout the night, just keep using the 4 or 6 or whatever was in the bottom. And then by the end of the night eating those, and they had significantly gotten bigger.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they swell up for sure. And they manage to
because gelatin's hygroscopic and it, you know,
really potent.
Oh, really? I mean, you got Jello shots and shit, so why not, right? Like,
yeah,
Jello shots are fucking crazy. Like, never not insane. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I may be too old for them, but every time someone hands me one, I'll eat it.
Oh no, exactly. Like, I'm like, oh God. Okay.
I don't know. All right.
There's a restaurant or not a restaurant, a bar down in Fells Point, right next to the Blarney Stone, called Little Phil's that I love. And they have a small refrigerator that is dedicated to just having Jello shots in it. And God bless them for it. It's a lost love language.
You can't talk about Jello shots without mentioning Waltz In.
Exactly. Like, it's such a thing. And like, do kids even do that anymore? Like, is that even like a thing? Or are they just butt chugging stuff?
Yeah, no, Jello shots are still a thing for sure.
Are they?
They have to be. They have to be.
I mean, you say that, but I don't know.
You never know with these Zennials.
Is that what they're called now? Zennials?
Well, there's Zennials, and then apparently we learned on our podcast just this past a couple of days ago. We're now all the way through the alphabet. We're up to Generation Alpha.
Oh God, that's the worst. Christ, can you imagine how insufferable those kids are going to be?
No, I can't, because I am now how many generations separated? 2, 3.
Yeah, I'll never understand why people think alpha is such a, like, I'm an alpha male. It's like, no.
Oh, because of wolves.
Right, but that's not even but that's not even a thing. Like, yeah.
If anything, it should be like, I'm the omega male.
Right, exactly. Like, alpha is just the first generation. Like, well, okay, never mind.
Anyway, yeah, no, let's not talk about this.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go into some weird gummies.
Weird gummies.
Weird gummies. Weird gummies. Weird gummies.
Weird gummies.
First, we have okay, the world's largest gummy worm. You can buy a 3-pound gummy worm on Amazon right now for $30, dude. I'm just letting you know. Do you want to see what it looks like? Looks like a worm. Pretty great. So we also have gummy pizza.
Oh, I've had that.
So who makes this? Fruity.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks very European.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff is European. It's really weird.
I've had like gummy tacos. I've never had gummy bacon.
So we're looking at gummy bacon right now. It looks really fucking gross.
Yeah.
Do you think it tastes like bacon?
I bet it does.
Oh no, it's strawberry flavor.
Right. But
Come on.
It would be so easy to mix in some like liquid smoke into the batch.
To be fair, that looks pretty good. for like gummy candy.
Yeah. It looks convincingly like bacon.
Gummy burgers.
Yeah, the mini burger.
They're
I've had that a million times.
Gross. They're so disgusting.
It's because they're not. It's that spongy gummy. It's not. Yeah.
Same thing with these hot dog things.
I've had the hot dog guys. Yeah, I've had those.
Jelly brains. I've had those.
I've never had the jelly brains.
Not bad. You know, they're actually jelly though. Jelly eyeballs, which are fun.
Right.
I've never seen these.
I have not. I think I've seen gummy teeth. But I have not bothered.
Which look pretty funny. Like it's really gross looking, but it's really funny. A 1 pound gummy heart. That's pretty sweet.
Is it cinnamon flavored? It looks like it would be.
Let's find out.
Because they had also those little gummy hearts. They're just heart shaped, and they're cinnamon flavored. You know what I'm talking about? They're basically made out of that same shit that you would get the dots, the dot candies.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a gummy bear. It's just a gel. I don't know what the consistency is. It's like waxy, but also gummy.
Doesn't say that it just says sweet. Doesn't say there's a flavor. Oh, cherry flavor.
Got it.
So
$15.
I mean, a pound of gummy heart, pretty fun.
I'd rather eat a beef heart.
Gummy Army Men's pretty.
Gummy Army Men.
It's pretty great.
I like
it's
that.
a pretty good idea. Yeah, it's a pretty good idea.
A+ for effort on the different poses.
Yeah, totally.
Ooh, gummy mice, but those aren't gummy. Those look like circus peanuts.
Yeah,
but they are Haribo though.
Yeah, they look gross.
So this package has 2 mice on the front, and one of them is saying softig, which I imagine means soft, and they're talking about themselves. Please eat us.
You know what they look like? Have you ever had a friend who had a snake?
Sweet mice. Yeah.
And they had to feed their snake pinkies.
A pinky. Oh, a pinky. Yeah, sure.
They look
I used
like
to have lizards. I would feed them pinkies.
Yeah, they look like pinkies. Ugh. Mustaches, sure. I mean, they're mustaches. Fine.
Licorice flavored hard pass. Ooh, gummy eggs.
Yeah,
I've had that a million times.
We've had, yep. Chicken feet. Which actually kind of looks like candy corn. That's fun.
Yeah, a little bit.
Centipedes.
Gunnies.
A box of boogers.
I've had gummy boogers.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
God, that's old school. That's from like the mid 80s.
Yeah. Gummy earwax.
Oh, no.
And then, so the last on this list is
the eat shit gummy. Gummy
shit.
poop. Is it chocolate flavored? Cola flavored. Okay.
Yeah, but it's just turds. I'm turdalicious.
It's supposed to be like the poop emoji, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not even that good.
Turdalicious.
But I think for that shape, I would prefer that over the cola bottle.
I like the cola
as long
bottle.
as it's the same cola flavor.
So I'm gonna run through really quick right now.
Okay.
Oh, some world records. The largest gummy candy ever made weighs 2,673 pounds.
No.
It was achieved in Tehran, Iran in 2022.
Why? What?
To present excellent.
Is it a gummy Ayatollah?
No, it was a dolphin.
A dolphin?
Yeah, it was a dolphin. Oh shit, I gotta look into it now. It was to bring attention to the plight of dolphins or something like, you know,
sea creatures.
One of those things. But like it was like 10 foot by let's see. So that's 10. It was 11 foot by 5 foot by something. It was. I mean, look, I haven't seen a picture of it, but it sounds pretty big. Okay, and then the other real quick Guinness Book World Record that I honestly want you and Evan, I want you to honestly give a crack at this. I think you can beat this.
Oh.
The most gummy bears eaten with a cocktail stick in 1 minute.
Interesting.
How many would you think it is?
As long as it's not Joey Chestnut, it's probably going to be like...
It's not.
I'm trying to think.
But a cocktail stick's a toothpick, right?
Because as long as you are really, really good with, like a bamboo skewer, you know, something like that, and you are just absolutely amazing at...
Yeah, it's just a goddamn... Okay.
You pluck them into your mouth
right.
and swallow them whole. So... And they're probably doing like 19 of them on the same stick. You know, stab, eat. In how much time?
1 minute.
1 minute. 350.
31.
30. What?
Yes.
I think I can beat this.
That's what I'm saying. I think we found something for you to get it into the Guinness Book of World Records for.
I can beat this. And I don't care.
I'm serious about
this. I don't care
this.
if somebody could turn around and immediately beat me, and I would not care because I can totally do 32.
But doesn't that seem like a really low bar?
That's like 1 every 2 seconds.
I didn't believe what I was reading, but this is the Guinness World Records website. Most gummy bears eaten with a cocktail stick in 1 minute.
This seems to me to be like that whole stacking Skittles thing. Like it's physically impossible to do it faster.
So the most gummy bears eaten in 1 minute is 31, and was achieved by Kevin, quote unquote, L.A. Beast Strahl in Ridgewood, New Jersey, on the 24th of May in 2017. This was one of 6 food records Kevin attempted that day. As
this guy sounds familiar.
As part of the Beast Buffet. So, okay, that's still just one, like, that's not even, that's 1 every 2 seconds almost.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to do a lot of preparation, like time trial wise, without even eating them, because the eating them is nothing. 31 gummies. Right. Down your gullet in a minute.
But like you were saying, wouldn't you just jam it?
Like, yeah, you just have to be really good like at stabbing and swallowing.
Or is it supposed to be? Or is the record? You got to grab one, do it. Grab one, do it. But still, grab one, do it. Grab one, do it. Like,
if it's one at a time, then that's one thing. I mean, you'd have to be really, really good and precise.
Evan.
Yes.
I think we need to get you doing this.
I'll just set the record with gummy worms because they're bigger, you know.
I think we can do it though. Like,
yeah, watch me choke to death. This is how I die. He died doing what he loved.
He
eating
died
gummy
doing
bears.
what he loved. He died doing what he loved. It's so sad, but hey, I mean, hey, he went out doing what he loved. Oh my!
Attempting
God.
to set the world record for consuming the most gummy bears.
It's so perfect. Oh, it's so fucking sad. Okay, so let's go through real quick just some of the crazy things that I've seen just in the last week. So there's gummy severed fingers. There's so we talked about the eggs, the wine gums. Haribo makes their own wine gums now, by the way. Double dipping, you pieces of shit. Mice, tongues, which are like super long that you can put in your mouth and look like Gene Simmons. Oscar Mayer gummy dogs is really weird.
Mac and cheese.
You can buy the 5-pound giant gummy bear, which is pretty standard, but there is
that's obviously going to be at my wedding.
No, what's going to be in your wedding is the 26-pound gigantic gummy bear that you can buy for $150.
Yeah, well, we'll have a carving station.
Yeah.
The guy with the chef's hat, look at the carving knife. Hello, sir.
Oh my God, that's so good.
What part of the gummy bear would you like?
It's just a hot knife. He just keeps it in hot water.
Yeah.
It's just
it's like an electric knife.
Yeah.
And you can have the option of shaved versus sliced. Versus cubed.
There's sushi gummies, which is really great.
Oh, I gotta try that.
There's it's just gummies. It just looks like sushi. But then they have crazy sushi. So instead of like tuna, it's an eyeball or whatever.
Sure.
There are planet gummies. There's camel balls, which is pretty weird. There's zit poppers that are gummies filled with stuff that you can pop.
No.
Gummy maggots.
No.
Fried chicken gummies. Gummy Band-Aids that you can put on yourself. Gummy rainbows. Gummy spaghetti. It's called salsa-getti. It's really weird, and it's it's gummy. They look like really long gummy worms that are coated with something that you put a sauce on, and I don't want to know what that's about. Gummy penises, Jesus Christ, the amount of gummy penises.
Sure.
I mean, good grief. Sour pickle balls are a thing. There's mushroom flavored gummies. There's gummy boobs that are fucking like, of course. There's a really scary one called Dick Lips, which look like a mouth about to suck a penis, and that's really
Oh.
weird. Gummy mummies, which are pretty great. There's a thing called Biden butts that you can buy on Etsy. Okay. And it goes on and on. There's a gummy haggis, gummy skunks, everything you think of. X-rayed fish, which is pretty sweet because there's like, it's like a clear fish that has fish bones that are, I think, hard inside of them.
Ew.
Yeah. And then there was actually, and it's funny that we did this because we had just talked about it, but last week when I went to H Mart, excuse me, I bought this Japanese box of, it's like build your own pizza kit, but it's all gummy, and you got to mix all the stuff together itself. So you need to add water to things, and then you have like a little cup of soda, and then you make your own pizza, and you got to cut it into slices, but you actually have to mix all the gummy stuff and it comes with molds and stuff that you put.
Have you ever had a gummy chili pepper?
No.
Yeah, they're good.
Are they?
Yeah, I just remembered that. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Sweet.
They're like a little sweet,
Or
but
hot.
they got that pepperiness to them. Yeah.
Well, cool. That's it. That's it for Gummi
All right, well, that's the
Bears.
goal. That's the goal for the next year. Increase my speed. I got to get to 33 in a minute and 26-pound
I
gummy.
think you could
athletic.
do that right now.
I don't
You
think
can
I
eat
could.
32 gummy bears in a fucking minute.
Yeah, by hand. I don't think I could stab 32 of them in a minute and eat them.
I think you
That's
sell yourself
also-
a little short, Evan.
I mean, I'm good with video games, but I don't know about like stabbing gummy. They're pretty small. Like getting, that precision.
You
that
know what I
level of
think the trick
precision.
is? And I think this might be a workaround though, because they're saying cocktail stick. So it's like a wooden thing. If you got a metal one.
Yeah, sure. Or a plastic saber, a little
Right.
cocktail saber.
Yeah, I think you're good. Because then
I think the key
then
is
it keeps
you
the
line
point.
them up. You line them up and you rest your wrist on the table and you just do a kya, like a little kya.
See, I'm
a
thinking just
stab.
having a fucking big deep bowl and you just jam it in and boom.
Well, if you're allowed to do that, then that would probably work.
Yeah, what are
But
what are the constraints on that?
Right. Can you just stab a bowl, or do they have to be lined out? Do they have to be like yeah.
We're gonna have to research it.
What's the regulation on the cocktail
We'll
thing?
get you in the books. We'll get you in the books.
Can I use a tiki umbrella? Can I use a saber?
I
Can I
hope
use
so.
a swizzle stick?
You know what's fun about those tiki sticks?
Everything?
is sometimes when you take them apart, you find porn in them.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, at the top where it's all paper that everything's wrapped around. It's
Yeah.
it's normally just newspaper. Every now and then you find porn in it.
Cool.
Yeah, just strips of porn.
Gonna have to tell 7-year-old me from when my parents took me to the hibachi grill, and every drink had those in them.
Start peeling it apart. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really do it anymore, but every now and then you can find one. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Rude Cooking School podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Please tell your friends and family about us and subscribe to our Facebook page. We really appreciate it. If you could also do us a solid and subscribe and or, I guess like or add yourself to whatever you're listening to, whether it be Spotify or Amazon or whatever. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It actually does make a big difference in the weird algorithms that whatever does it. Like if you're listening to iTunes, it actually makes a big difference when you subscribe to a podcast. And that would do us a solid. We don't ask for money, just we ask for subscribes. So do that for us, and we'd really appreciate it. And again, the Facebook page is hilarious and fun and full of weird surprises constantly. And speaking of surprises, Evan has a surprise for you about his podcast.
Well, not so much a surprise, but our most recent episode. At ctb.show, you will find an interview with a real life professor of Jewish humor.
What?
She's like the foremost expert on Jewish humor.
Was this
We
to celebrate the History of the World Part 2?
Kind of.
Okay.
But she has a new book which talks about Jewish humor from like and this is focused on TV and movies. So it goes from the era of the silent films all the way up to modern day.
What's the book called?
It's called Funny You Don't Look Funny.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, if you want to listen to a roughly hour-long interview with Dr. Kaplan, it's me and Brian, and not Casey so much. He doesn't say much.
Yeah.
But we got into it about like all the comedians. And
Christ, that's like right up Brian's alley.
Oh, it was like his baby episode.
That's cool.
If only it somehow involved Star Trek, he'd be in
and
hog
weed.
Heaven. Yeah. No, I'm sure he was smoking weed during it. But yeah.
Could you imagine Brian interviewing Seth Rogen?
No. No, I think Seth Rogen would get really tired of him.
Really?
I think so.
Oh, well,
I don't know. And he knows how to like schmooze
Brian's
with like
endearing.
people when he has to. Oh no, it gets old.
I love Brian.
Let me tell you.
Oh, well, you've been with him for 30 years, so you know.
Roughly.
You guys have been married for a while.
Uh-huh.
So cool, man. I can't wait to listen to that tomorrow.
It's pretty good.
No, I'm excited. It sounds really good. So listen to that, and thank you for listening to the Rude Cooking School podcast. We really appreciate it. We will see you next week with an episode of Food News. And with that said, I'm John Hauser III. Please don't yuck my yum.
And don't eat abandoned babies.
Yeah, God, what are you doing, people? Put them in the sewer where they belong.
Sewer babies.
Peace. Sewer babies. Gross.